Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be learning about the transfer posting process between various stock types in SAPMM. Now this will be a third video on our series on stock transfers and transfer posting in SAPMM. In our previous two videos, we have learned about the stock transfer between two plants. We have learned how we can transfer the inventory between two plants, whether they are belonging to same company code or two different company codes. So we have learned about intra-company code transfer and inter-company code stock transfer. Continuing in that series, today we'll learn about the transfer postings between various stock types in SAPMM. But before we start, I would like to give a huge thank you to all of you because we have just hit 500 subscribers. It's a big milestone for me and this wouldn't have been possible without your support. So please continue your support so that I can bring you more content on SAPMM. If you're new to my channel or haven't subscribed yet, I would request you to kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much again for making me reach this milestone. Now let's continue with our today's topic, that is transfer posting of stock to stock in SAPMM. Now before we start our video, first let's understand what is a stock transfer or a transfer posting. Now for any organization, due to various reasons, you need to transfer the inventory from one location to other, or you need to change the identification of the material. Let's say that you have multiple warehouses in your plant, that is you have a decentralized storage, then it might be required that you need to transfer a material physically from one warehouse to another. Or in SAP terms, we'll say you have to transfer the material physically from one storage location to another. Let's take another example. Let's say that you have received some material from the vendor and you have to do quality testing on that material. So what you can do is you can mark that material as under quality inspection. The stock type for that material will be quality inspection. And once you do the quality inspection, you will simply change the stock type from quality inspection to unrestricted use. That is, now the quality inspection is done and material is found acceptable. You will change the identification of the material. You may or may not change the physical location, but you will have to change the identification of the material in SAP. Let's take another example. You have to mark some inventory as blocked stock. That is, you do not want that inventory to be consumed inside your plant. Again, in this case, you will have to change the identification of that stock. So as a warehouse manager, for various reasons, you will either have to transfer the material from one location to another, or you will have to transfer the material from one identification to another identification. So these two activities in SAP are called as stock transfers and transfer postings. So as you can see on the screen, a transfer posting is related to changing the stock type or the material number. That is, when you are changing the identification of a material, then we call it a transfer posting. Now in this process, physical movement may or may not happen. That is, let's say that you have a material which is marked as blocked stock. Now you may keep the material at the same location, at the same physical location, and change its identification from blocked stock to unrestricted use stock. So that will be a kind of transfer posting. Or let's say that you have an inventory under a material code and the material identification or material properties have changed. And now you have to change the material code of that inventory. So in that case also, it might happen that the material is not transferred physically, but you have to change the identification of the material or the material code which is associated with that inventory. So such kind of activities are called transfer postings. That means that you are doing postings in SAP to change the identification of the material. A physical movement may or may not happen. But if we see stock transfers, here the physical movement of material is mandatory. That is, the physical movement of material will be happening. Let's say that you have multiple warehouses and you have to transfer the material from one warehouse to another. Now, this particular activity requires a physical movement of material from one warehouse to another, or in SAP parlance, we will say from one storage location to another storage location. So, such kind of activity will be called a stock transfer. In case of plant to plant transfer also, you will have the physical movement of inventory from one plant to another. So such activities are called stock transfer. So you can see here, stock transfer means physical material movement will happen. And in case of stock transfers, you have an option to do it in one step or two step. In one step, the inventory will instantly get transferred from one location to another in SAP. Physically, you will need to move the material. In 2 steps, what will happen? You will do a goods issue from the sending location, and then you will do a goods receipt at the receiving location. We already have seen this in our video on stock transfer between two plants. This 2-step procedure is not possible for transfer postings because transfer postings will happen in one go only. So as you can see here, under transfer posting, you have stock to stock that we'll be discussing in this video today. Then you have material to material. We'll discuss in the subsequent videos. In case of stock transfers, we have storage location to storage location, plant to plant, and company code to company code. Now, plant to plant and company code to company code, we already have discussed in our stock transfer videos. We'll discuss storage location to storage location in our subsequent videos. So today we'll be discussing this part, that is stock to stock transfer posting, where we'll be doing the transfer posting between any of these three stock types, that is quality inspection, unrestricted use, and blocked stock. So first let's understand what are stock types in SAP. Whenever you have an inventory in your warehouse, this inventory can be marked under any of these three stock types, that is unrestricted use stock, quality inspection stock, or blocked stock. So what does unrestricted use stock mean? An unrestricted use stock can be withdrawn for consumption. That is, there is no usage restriction for this kind of stock. Whenever you require this material for your plant operation, you can post this material with all the issue movement types. That is, movement types which start with digit 2. In case of quality inspection stock, the material is not ready for withdrawal from the warehouse. And we mark this stock type to show the system that material is under quality inspection. That is, you have received the material in your inventory, but the material is not yet ready for usage. That material will be shown in your inventory, and if it is evaluated material, it will be shown with value also, but that material you will not be able to issue for consumption. Okay, so you can see here the stock cannot be withdrawn for consumption, and this stock type is used to keep stocks which are under quality inspection. Then you can see there is a third stock type, that is blocked stock. Now what does blocked stock mean? A blocked stock is also a stock which you cannot withdraw for consumption. But this blocked stock type is used to show the system that material is no longer in use. Okay, the material is no longer in use for plant operations. Let's say that a material is damaged or your material have expired. Now those stocks you cannot use in your plant. Those stocks cannot be categorized under quality inspection also because they are not under quality inspection. They have been damaged or they are expired, and you have to block that stock in system so that no one issues it from your warehouse. So in that case, you will maintain that stock under block stock category. Okay, so these three stock types are basically categories under which you will be keeping your stock. In some cases, when you receive material from the vendor also, you can directly take them in blocked stock. Let's say that you have received the material from the vendor and you are waiting for some documentation to come from the vendor. So what you will do is you will post your inventory in blocked stock, and once the documentation is received, then you will release that block stock to unrestricted use stock. So the difference between these three stock types are: unrestricted use stock is ready for consumption, quality inspection stock and block stock are not ready for consumption. Quality inspection stock is to show the system that material is under quality inspection. Blocked stock is to show the system that material is blocked for usage. So as you can see on the screen, goods issue for consumption can only be posted against unrestricted use stock. Quality inspection and block stock withdrawal for sampling, scrapping, or inventory differences posting can be done. Now these are separate topics. We'll be discussing these topics in our subsequent videos. So we have discussed what are stock types. Now we'll discuss how we can transfer the stock between these three stock types. That is how we can change the identification of a material from unrestricted use stock to quality inspection, or quality inspection to block stock, or vice versa. SAP has given multiple movement types to do transfer posting of inventory within these three stock types. So you can see on the screen, these are the movement types which have been given by SAP to do the transfer posting between these three stock types. So you have unrestricted use stock, quality inspection stock, and block stock. Now to transfer from quality inspection to unrestricted, the movement type is 321. And to do the reversal, the movement type is 322. So to transfer from unrestricted to quality, the movement type shall be 322. Then from block stock to quality, the movement type is 349. And reversal is 350. That is, quality inspection to block stock is movement type 350. Then from block stock to unrestricted, that is, you can see this path. From block stock to unrestricted, the movement type is 343. And reversal, that is unrestricted to blocked, is 344. So these 6 movement types you need to remember. Actually, you need to remember only 3 movement types. Other movement types are reversal. That movement type will be basically the original movement type plus 1. Okay, so you have 321, then reversal will be 322. You have 349, then reversal will be 350. And we have 343, so reversal is 344. So you have to remember these 3 movement types, that is 321, 349 and 343. 321 is quality inspection to unrestricted, 343 is block to unrestricted, and 349 is block to quality inspection. And any reversal movement type will lead to posting in the reverse direction. Okay, so this diagram you can remember, so that whenever you have to transfer from one stock type to another, you can use these movement types. So now that we have discussed about these 3 stock types and the movement types, now let's see in SAP how we can receive material in all these 3 stock types, and then let's see how we can make movements between these 3 stock types. So now let's move on to SAP and see everything in action. So now let's see in SAP how we can receive the inventory in these 3 stock types, and then how we can do the transfer posting between these 3 stock types. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll create a purchase order. So let's go to ME21N and we'll purchase some coffee, and let's enter PO quantity as 15 kg. We'll enter the plant. We'll enter some price here, and then we'll save this purchase order. Now before we save this purchase order, if you go to the delivery tab, you can find a drop down here for stock type. So in the purchase order also, you can mark in which stock type you want to receive the material. That is, if you want to receive in blocked stock, then you can mark the stock type as blocked stock in the PO line. If you want to receive in quality inspection, then you can mark the stock type as quality inspection. Now currently you can see the stock type is marked as unrestricted use. So when you will do the GR for this PO line item, by default system will select the stock type as unrestricted use. You can change the stock type in the MIGO screen also. So what I'll do is I'll save with unrestricted use stock type only, and we'll see in MIGO how we can change this stock type and receive this material in different stock types. So let's save this purchase order first. So you can see the purchase order has been saved. So now we'll create the GR. So we'll go to MIGO. So we'll select goods receipt, and then we'll select purchase order and we'll enter the PO number here and we'll press enter. So you can see system has proposed 15 kgs of coffee, for which we have to create the GR. Now what we'll do, we'll distribute this 15 kgs into 3 separate lines, and we'll receive 5 kgs in each of the 3 stock types. That is, we'll receive 5 kgs in unrestricted stock, 5 kgs in quality inspection, and 5 kgs in blocked stock, so that we can do the transfer postings between them. Now if you see this MIGO screen, if you go to the where tab, you can see the stock type field here. So here also you can change the stock type from unrestricted use to any of these stock types. So if you want to receive this 15 kgs in quality inspection, then you have to select quality inspection here. If you want to receive this 15 kgs in blocked stock, then you have to select blocked stock here. Now what we'll do is we'll distribute this 15 kgs into 3 lines. Now how we can do that? We can simply click on this icon here, that is for distribute quantity. And here we'll enter 5 kgs and we'll select unrestricted stock type. Then we'll enter 5 kgs here and we'll select quality inspection, and we'll enter 5 kgs and we'll select blocked stock. We'll enter storage location in all these 3 lines and we'll click on adopt. We'll select all these line items and we'll click on check. So you can see we are posting 5 kgs in each of these 3 stock types, that is unrestricted use, quality inspection and block stock, and we'll click on post now. So you can see the document has been posted and the inventory has been posted to all these 3 stock types. Now to verify this, we can go to T-code MMBE. So we'll go to T-code MMBE to see the stock overview. And for this material and the plant, we'll execute this T-code. So now you see 5 kgs available in unrestricted use, 5 kgs available in quality inspection, and if you scroll right, you can see 5 kgs are available in blocked stock. Now let's say that the 5 kgs that you received in quality inspection, you have done the quality inspection and material is acceptable. Then what you have to do is you have to transfer from quality inspection to the unrestricted use stock. So how you can do that? So to transfer from quality inspection to unrestricted use, you will use movement type 321, that is movement type 321. So to do that, we'll go to MIGO. And now we have to select transfer posting here. You can see here, first we have to select transfer posting against other. And here we have to enter movement type as 321. And if we press enter, you can see the description of this movement type is transfer quality to unrestricted. So what this movement type will do, it will transfer from quality inspection stock to unrestricted use stock. So let's expand this detailed data section. And now here you can see you have two blocks. One is from and another one is for destination. Now in the from block, you can see you have to enter material code, plant, storage location and special stock. In the destination, you can see you can only enter the storage location. So let's enter the material code. We'll enter the plant and we'll enter the storage location and we'll press enter. So you can see system has copied everything from the from block to the destination block. And you can see system has also copied the storage location. So for transfer posting related activities, changing storage location is optional. That is transferring the material physically is an optional activity. So you can see you can keep in the same storage location. What this movement type will do, it will simply change the identification of the material. That is, it will change from quality inspection to unrestricted use stock. Next, we'll enter the quantity here. Now, if we see all these tabs, in the material tab, you have the material code. In the quantity, you can see the quantity that you have entered. In the where tab, you can see what is the movement type and the description. Then you have the plant code and the storage location. Then you have some text field like unloading point and text which you can enter. So now that we have entered all these details, we'll click on check and then we'll click on post. So now you can see the document has been posted. Now if we go back to this screen and if we refresh the MMBE output, so you can see the 5 quantity which was there in the quality inspection has been transferred to unrestricted use, and now the new quantity for unrestricted use stock is 10. So you have 10 kgs in the unrestricted use now and 5 kgs under blocked stock. Now next step what we'll do is, let's say that you receive the material in block stock and you're awaiting some documentation from the vendor. Now until the documentation is received, you are not transferring this stock to unrestricted use and you are not allowing anyone to issue this material. But once the documentation is received, you will transfer this block stock to unrestricted use stock. So how we'll do that? The movement type for transferring from block stock to unrestricted use is movement type 343. So now we'll post 343 document. So let's go to MIGO again. Now again we'll select transfer posting other, and here we'll change the movement type to 343. So you can see the description of 343 is transfer from block to unrestricted. So what this movement type will do is it will transfer the material from block stock to unrestricted use stock. Again we'll enter the material code here. We'll enter the plant code, the storage location, and you can see everything is copied to the destination block also. We'll enter quantity here. We'll click on check and then we'll click on post. Now what this posting has done, it has transferred the stock from blocked stock category to unrestricted use stock category. So if you go to MMB again, you can see we have 10 quantity in unrestricted use and here we have 5 quantity under blocked stock. Now let's refresh this. So you can see now under unrestricted use you have 15 kgs available and under blocked stock the quantity is nil now. You can see here the quantity is nil under blocked stock. So by posting movement type 343, we transfer the material from block stock to unrestricted use stock. Now when we posted these two material documents, will there be any financial entries getting posted against these two documents? The answer is no. Because we are doing transfer posting, so no financial entries will get posted. Let's verify that. So we'll go to display and we'll just open the last document that we posted. Now if we go to document info and click on FI documents, you can see system gives the message no subsequent document found in accounting. You can see here. If we open the previous document also, now this is for movement type 343. If we open the previous document and click on FI documents, you can see no subsequent document found in accounting. So all these transfer posting movement types which are posted to transfer between various stock types will not lead to posting of any financial transaction. Okay. Now till now what we have done, we have transferred from quality inspection to unrestricted use stock through movement type 321, and we have transferred from block stock to unrestricted use stock through movement type 343. Now let's say that once we have transferred the materials to unrestricted use stock, there is a requirement to again transfer the material back to quality inspection to do some quality checking on that material. So what you need to do now? You need to transfer the stock from unrestricted to quality inspection. Now how we will do that? Again, we have to select transfer posting, and this time we'll enter movement type as 322. Remember, from quality to unrestricted, the movement type is 321. So to reverse this movement, that is to transfer from unrestricted to quality, the movement type will be 322. So we'll enter 322 here. You can see for 321, the description was TF, quality to unrestricted. For 322, the description is TR, quality to unrestricted. That is, this R stands for reversal. So what this movement type will do? This will transfer your stock from unrestricted to quality inspection. So now again, let's enter the information. So we'll enter material code, plant, storage location. And this time what we'll do is we'll transfer some different quantity. So let's transfer 10 quantity from unrestricted to quality inspection. We'll click on check and then we'll click on post. So now what we have done, we have transferred 10 kgs from unrestricted to quality. Now let's again refresh the MMBE screen. So you can see 5 quantities remaining in unrestricted use and 10 has been transferred to quality inspection. Now what we'll do is, let's say that this 5 quantity that is there in the unrestricted use stock is spoiled or is no longer in use. So now what we have to do, since we cannot use this material for consumption or for the operations in your plant, so we have to transfer this unrestricted use stock to blocked stock. Now how we'll do that? For transferring from block to unrestricted, the movement type is 343. So we have to do the reversal now. We have to transfer from unrestricted to blocked. So the movement type will be 344. So again, we'll go to transfer posting. We'll enter movement type as 344. We'll press enter. So you can see TR means reversal of transfer posting block to unrestricted. So essentially what this movement type will do is it will transfer from unrestricted to blocked. Okay. So you have to keep this in mind that TR means reversal of the original movement type, that is reversal of 343. So we'll enter material code, we'll enter the plant, we'll enter the storage location, and we'll enter quantity as 5. So now what we are going to do, we are going to transfer from unrestricted to blocked stock through movement type 344. So we'll click on check and we'll click on post. So you can see we have posted this document. Now let's refresh the MMBE screen. So now you can see 5 quantity from unrestricted has been transferred to 5 quantity in the block stock category. So now we have successfully done the reversals of these two movement types, that is movement type 321 and 343. Now let's see movement type 349 that is used to transfer from block to quality inspection. Now let's say that you transfer material to block stock thinking that the material is of no longer use. But the end user tells you that let's do a quality inspection on this stock. Let's see whether this material can still be used or not. That we can only find out once we do the quality inspection. So what you will do is you will transfer this 5 kgs from blocked stock to quality inspection. Now how we can do that? We can do that through movement type 349. So again we'll go to this MIGO screen, we'll enter movement type as 349. So you can see TF block to QI. This means transfer posting blocked stock to quality inspection stock. So again, we'll enter the material code, we'll enter the plant, we'll enter the storage location, we'll press enter and we'll enter 5 kgs here. So now what we are going to do is we are going to transfer from block stock to quality inspection stock, and we'll see whether the material is still usable or not by doing the quality inspection. So we'll click on check and then we'll click on post. So you can see this document has been posted. Now if we again refresh this MMBE screen, now you can see 15 quantity has come up in the quality inspection category. So we have transferred 5 quantity from blocked stock to the quality inspection stock, and you can see under block category now you do not have any stock remaining. Now let's say that this quality inspection is done for this 5 kg and still you find that material is of no use. So what we have to do is now you have to transfer from quality inspection to blocked stock. Okay. How you can do that? This is simply a reversal of the previous transaction, that is transfer from block to quality, and that was movement type 349. So the reversal will be movement type 350, and 350 will do what? 350 will transfer from quality inspection to blocked stock. So let's do that. So we'll enter movement type 350 here. You can see TR block to QI, that is reversal of movement type 349, reversal of block to QI, which means from QI to blocked. So we'll again enter the material code, we'll enter the plant, we'll enter the location, we'll press enter, and here we'll enter 5 kgs. So now what we are doing is we are sending this 5 kgs from quality inspection to blocked stock. Okay. So now let's click on check and we'll click on post. And now let's refresh this MMBE. So you can see now we have 10 quantity under quality inspection, and again we have 5 quantity under blocked stock. So through movement type 350, we transferred this 5 kgs back to blocked stock, which we earlier transferred from block to QI through movement type 349. So in this way, I have shown you all these movement types. You have to remember this diagram here, which shows you all these movement types which we have done just now. Now, as I told you, stock which exists under quality inspection and block stock cannot be used for consumption or cannot be withdrawn for consumption. So let me just show you a test for that also. What we'll do is we have this 5 kgs under block category and 10 kgs under quality inspection category. We'll try to issue some of the material from these two stock types and we'll see whether system allows that or not. So we'll go to MIGO again. This time we'll select goods issue. We'll enter movement type as 201. So remember, this is a consumption movement type, that is we are withdrawing for cost center consumption. We'll enter the material code here. We'll enter the quantity also. Now if we go to the where tab, you can see stock type is available here. Let's select quality inspection stock. Let's enter plant here, storage location. Let's enter cost center. And then let's click on check. So you can see here the first error that system gives you is check combination of movement type and stock type. If we see the description of this error, you can see system tells you the stock type you have entered for a movement type is not allowed for that movement type. So for movement type 201, you cannot select stock type as quality inspection. Let's test this with blocked stock also. So we'll select blocked here and we'll click on check. Again, you see you get the same error. So stock type quality inspection and blocked stock are not allowed for movement type 201. You can only withdraw the stock through movement type 201 against the stock type unrestricted use. Okay. And if we select unrestricted use and if we click on check, you can see system will give you an error that there is a deficit of 5 kgs in unrestricted use stock, because you have 10 kgs under quality inspection and 5 kgs under blocked stock, and you have no stock available under unrestricted use. So you can see here system did not allow consumption postings through stock type quality inspection and blocked stock. And to post the consumption, you must have stock available under unrestricted use. Now, if you want to see the material movements that we did for this material code, then we can go to T code MB51. So let's open this report. We'll enter the material code and the plant code and we'll execute. So you can see here all these movements have happened against this material code. So you can see we did GR for 3 different stock types and we received 5 kgs in all these 3 stock types. We received 5 kgs under unrestricted use, 5 kgs under quality inspection and 5 kgs under block stock. Then what we did a transfer posting through movement type 321. That is, we transferred from quality inspection to unrestricted use stock. And you can see for each of these transfer posting movement type, system will show you 2 lines. So you have this negative quantity appearing against the quality inspection stock and this positive quantity appearing against the unrestricted use stock. So these 2 lines appearing in this report here are against the same material document, but system is showing you that 5 quantity got removed from quality inspection and 5 quantity got added to unrestricted use stock. Then we posted movement type 343, that was to transfer from blocked stock to unrestricted use stock. So you have this negative 5 quantity in blocked stock and the positive 5 quantity under unrestricted use. Then we did a reversal of 321, that is 322. We transferred from unrestricted to quality inspection. So you have this positive 10 kgs posted to quality inspection and 10 kgs removed from unrestricted use. Then we posted reversal of 343, that is 344. Through this, we removed the remaining 5 kgs from unrestricted to blocked stock. So you have this 5 positive quantity for blocked stock and this negative 5 quantity for unrestricted use stock. Then we posted this 349 document that was to post from blocked stock to quality inspection. So we have negative 5 quantity for blocked stock and this positive 5 quantity for quality inspection. And finally, we did a reversal of this 349 by posting 350, where we again transferred from quality inspection to blocked stock. So this positive 5 kg is for blocked stock and this negative 5 kg is for quality inspection. So in this way, we did all these movement types and I showed you how you can transfer from one stock type to another stock type. Again, remember that all these movement types are for transfer posting. So physical transfer of material is optional. As you saw in the Migo screen also, you had the option to enter a different storage location when you are changing the stock type, but you can keep the storage location same and these movement type will simply change the stock identification or the stock type of the material inventory. Okay. So in this way, I have covered all these movement types. I hope that you have understood this concept of difference between stock transfers and transfer postings. And I hope that you've understood this concept of stock types and how we can do these movement between all these 3 stock types in SAP. In my next video, I'll cover the stock transfer process between 2 storage locations. So see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thanks a lot.